Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you guys are doing great. It feels like it's 7:30 at night when it is only 9:40 in the morning because it's snowing outside. So planning is a little bit weird. That is why I probably should have picked a different day to do this, but here we are. Okay, hope you guys are good. In today's video, we are going to talk about design inspiration, specifically places that you can go to get inspired, whether it's something net new that you're creating, whether you just need to understand like how a drop down looks, how a landing page looks. I'm going to go through some of my favorite places that I like to go get inspiration when I'm stuck. Or if I just want to present a new idea. This is kind of how I go about that process. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around, like, comment, subscribe, all the things, and let's get into the video. Okay, so this first one is Mobbin, and specifically this one is great for like screenshots for literally any app you could think of. If you're like me and when you're on like an app or you're on a screen or you're just on TikTok, anything, and you find that you screenshot a lot of things for like design reference, I do that a ton. This is kind of like that, but on a website. So let's say we want to look at, let's say fitness in general. Okay, let's go with Lifesum here. So let's say you want to see how other apps do it. Let's say you're doing a health and fitness app and you want to see what some of the competitors are doing. This actually shows you like the UI of their screenshots. Let's say you're trying to do like a date picker. This is how they do theirs, how they kind of have their onboarding flow. So I love this one. It's also great for like UX bootcamp students because sometimes it's really hard when you're starting out to like know what to do and what to look at. And it's sometimes hard because you're on your phone and you don't really think about all the things that you see. So this is just like a great conglomerate, so to speak, of inspiration like that. So this is a really great one. Anyway, okay, next one is Landingfolio, and this is probably one of my favorite ones. I don't know how I discovered it, but I'll pop over here on my laptop and show you in a second. But I always love, if you're like me and you love a landing page, this one is going to be for you. It's just always, I love a really well-designed, punchy landing page that kind of gets you excited for whatever the product is or whatever the website is, whether it's like a portfolio website, like whatever it is. Landing pages are my jam. I wish I actually got to design more landing pages, but sadly I don't, but I do like to look at them. So let me show you. Okay, so this is Landingfolio, and apologies for the dog in the back, but needs to chew his toy right now. Right off the bat, you see different options. Let's click this one here. So you click on this, and what's great is that most of these tie back to some kind of component, whether you're using Figma, which I do, Tailwind, Webflow, and then it's really great to just see how other people came up with a landing page, how they're presenting information. So that's just really a nice resource to have. And then what's also really cool is that you can kind of see what predominant colors are used. And then I just clicked on that color and it's going to show me everything else that's got that same color in it. So that's really awesome. And then what's also really cool is that it connects you to some components as well. And these are the programs that they support. So I'm Figma, so I'm gonna click on Figma, and you get to preview different components that you can actually put into your own design. Some of these I believe you do have to pay for. I'm not exactly sure. I've never actually taken that step. Let's see this one. So let's say you are advertising a new debit card, credit card. This is like, I love this because it's very clean, but still dominant. Like you know exactly what they're advertising. The font is really bold. The CTA button is very transparent. It kind of gives you a little bit of stats. Here, let me move myself. Just to kind of bring in some brand trust a little bit. So I love this. So yeah, you could go ahead and copy this into your Figma. And what's also really cool is that they have it designed for mobile as well, you know, mobile first, as well as tablets. So this is just probably one of my favorite inspo websites. There's just a lot that's on here and it's really well curated, which is awesome. Okay, team, next one is Godly. And this one is a little bit newer to me, and it's pretty much everything website, like it's great just website inspiration. And what's really cool is that most of these are prototypes. I guess not prototyped, most of these are animated, so you kind of get to see how they would actually like work in a real setting. So let's look at minimal, and let's see this guy here. So unlike the other site where you can like grab components on it, this is really just straight inspiration. This is like website UI Pinterest in a way. It's really nice to just see like what's different, what's trending, what looks good, what doesn't look good. Like this is just a great, like really good stimulus. I think this is a really great place to start if you have no idea what to do. And maybe you don't want to get necessarily boxed in to some of the other options where it was like, this is what a finance website looks like. This is what a real estate website. Maybe you don't want it to look like any of that. Maybe you want it to just be something completely net new. And I definitely think that's where something like this comes in. Like this is really cool. Look at that animation, guys. Yeah, so stuff like that is really awesome. Just to kind of literally just scroll, get some inspiration. I like this, I like that. And it's just nice to see it organized this way. Sorry, I'm like mesmerized by this. So yeah, another great one. Okay, next one is a little bit different than some of the others. This one is specifically all about infographics. And I wanted to include this because when I was going through my bootcamp, in the end, when I was putting together my case study, gather a lot of secondary research, whether that's like articles, statistics to kind of support whatever it is that you've designed and support your claims. And I kind of had a hard time creating stuff that didn't look totally crap and kind of janky, you know? So this is one that one of my other cohorts at the time was telling me about. And it's a little bit tricky to kind of get exactly what you need, but if you even just want inspiration on how to create an infographic and convey your research, this would be a great place to look at. So let's say you want tech and digital. Let's scroll up. Okay, I'm coming up with this on the fly, but let's say you are creating a new streaming service that actually pays their artists a livable wage. Let's say that. Maybe it's only for smaller acts, smaller bands, smaller musicians, whatever. Okay, so this would be a awesome tool that I would probably use. So here, and the reason I clicked on this, let me go back one. It said what streaming music services actually pay artists. So not much, as we all kind of know. They get like hay pennies to the dollar or something like that. Maybe not a hay penny, but it's not great. So this could be a great research tool of like, let's say you're coming up with your own streaming service, but we're actually going to pay people. You could put this infographic in your research and say, hey, look at all these competitors and how poorly they pay their artists. So let's see. Average artist revenue play. Napster. Wow. Who even knew Napster was still a thing? Is it still a thing? Okay, it doesn't matter, guys. Okay, so this kind of shows you like how little, like look at YouTube here. Pandora, Spotify. And so this would be great justification of, hey, there is need for this. If artists actually want to get paid, we have a way to do it. This is what the markets look like. These are what our competitors are doing. This is how we can do better. I wanted to include that one just because I think it's a great resource for you guys, especially like I mentioned, if you're a student or you're just starting out and you need something to prove your business case. Having research is obviously very important, but we as visual people like it presented nicely. So this is a great tool to find something that's going to help support that. Okay, with this one is all about fonts and typography, which I love, and I wish I got to explore a little bit more about it. Like obviously when you're working for a firm or a company, whatever their font standard is what the standard is. You can't deviate from the font standard. But if you are just love typography, or like I said, you're a student, you can kind of pick whatever you want. Typewolf is a great place to get ideas of looking at different fonts. They've got some really good blogs talking about it. Like, okay, let's look through their font lists. And they just kind of have great recommendations of sans serif, serif, monospace, rounded, any kind of alternative ones. It's amazing how many font types there are. So this is really just a great resource if you kind of want to see how they all work together, how they look, comparisons. Like, let's click into serif, because, you know, love serif fonts. And it shows you like, okay, this one's called OGG, I'm assuming. And you go ahead and click in there. And then this really shows you like how it's used, as well as other fonts that are used in tandem with it, which I think is really awesome, because like in this example, it's like e-commerce. It's nice to kind of have a hierarchy when you're using different fonts. Like, you don't want to go crazy and then it looks nuts, but it's nice that you can see what goes together. Like, these are obviously different fonts. I believe there's 3 different fonts here, and it still looks good together. And I think when you're starting out, it's kind of hard to figure out what works well. And so this is a great way to understand why it works, and then get inspiration, and then how you can apply it to your own stuff. And they also have, let me go back here, really good blogs. Let's see. And okay, like this one, Fonts and Popular Culture. This is a fun one. Like, this is a font used by a fashion label, Billie Eilish's album cover. Oh, I love this font. Oh, custom typeface design. See, look at me reading this. See what I mean? Like, they've got really good stuff. God, I'm obsessed with this font. So if you also just want to read what's going on, read something interesting, this is another great place to do that. That was the last one I wanted to share with you guys. There are so many more. Like, I just probably scratched the surface of different resources. If you ever want me to explore one specifically, I'm happy to do that, but these are just the ones that I have used, ones that I really loved, and just are a little bit different than maybe some of the other ones that you've heard of. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this kind of gave you some insight. Looking at inspiration is probably one of my favorite parts of design. I love doing an interior design. I love doing it in UX and UI design. So it's just nice because it gets the creative juices flowing, and you feel like, I'm ready to implement everything that I saw. So I really hope this helps you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with somebody, that's going through a boot camp, with anybody that needs some inspiration. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.